Hi, my name is Adrena and I am the owner and accountant here at Accounting by Adrena. And recently, you guys have been loving my screen flows that I'm showing you a walk through QuickBooks and self-employed tutorial and things like that. So look out for more videos exactly like that. I've got a lot of ideas brewing in my head and not enough time. So those will be coming in the future. But today I have something very special for you guys, and it's not a screen flow and it's not anything accounting related, but I wanted to show you guys kind of like a behind the scenes look at my pantry reorganization. And so I'm excited to share this with you guys today. And let me know if you guys have any questions. A lot of the products that I use I bought from Amazon directly, and that was just like the easiest thing for me to do. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe so you are the first to know of any new YouTube videos coming up. All right, we are mid-pantry reorganization here. I basically pulled out everything from my pantry and put it here on the kitchen table. I also have these two benches that have some of the stuff on it. And I am basically going through and creating some zones. So let me walk you through it just real quick. First, I wanted to show you what my pantry looks like right now. Oh, it's so empty. Oh my goodness, so much space. I'm gonna pull all of this stuff out, and then I'm also going to clean all of the shelves, and I'm going to add some more shelving in here so that way it is so much better to organize my pantry with. I also have this box full of baking supplies, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with that. I have some of these things will help with organization, kind of like bring height, and then I can use some of that height in these shelves right here kind of to maximize the space there. And then I also have over here, like that cup of noodles is long-term storage. There's some other long-term storages over there, and then the Gatorade. I'm also kind of saving some of this stuff just in case anyone gets sick, and that way we have some, chicken noodle soup, Gatorade. Those are kind of things that I crave when I'm sick. So what I have here is everything out of my pantry. Those orange juices are also long-term storage as well. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through it. What I'm doing is I'm gonna create some zones here. So let me show you that. So the first zone that I have written down is spices. So obviously I do have a lot of spices that I like. I use these a lot for a bunch of different recipes, so I'm trying to figure out, which ones are kind of like my favorite ones, to maybe even bring them in closer to me when I'm cooking and baking and stuff like that. So I'll get this way more organized in a minute, but I wanted to just kind of show you what I have here. And then on the next few pages, I started taking some notes already. So I've got beverages, grains and pastas, long-term storage. I have a lot of nuts, and then I'm going to do like a coffee tea station, and I'll show you that as well. I'm going to make sure I have a smoothie station available as well. Started writing some notes on baking, and that's where I am. So I'm basically just going to show you the before. So we're going to put kind of like a coffee mug holder right here on the wall, and we'll move some of these mugs to the wall, and then this will be my coffee station. So I'm really excited about that. I am a huge coffee drinker. I love it. It's my favorite. So I'm starting to put some things from my pantry in here. These are the coffee filters. They go inside the they go inside of the coffee pot, and it filters the water. It's kind of like a double filtration system. So I'm also putting some of my canned goods on here so I can start taking an inventory of that. These are some things that I just use all the time, basically. These are things we got from, we went to Los Olivos one weekend and bought a couple of fun items there. This is going to be my smoothie station, and there's some of the protein powder. So yeah, smoothie, and then I have some mason jars, and I collect those jars up there so that I could kind of like either I'm going to save it for a recipe, like if I put soup in that, or I can give it away to people as well. And I use that in the freezer. All right, so we are finished now, and I've taken an inventory of everything that is going into the pantry. So I want to first direct your attention to all of the spices and the seasonings. So what I did was I wrote down exactly all of the spices that I have. I wrote down what I am missing, and it also, if you'll notice that there's not a lot left, I also threw away some spices because they did expire. So watch out for that when you are doing your pantry inventory. Next, I want to take you inside the pantry, and the whole idea is that you want to make sure you can see exactly what you have in your pantry. You want to be able to like use exactly everything that you have. And so I created some zones like I talked about earlier. So the first zone I want to direct your attention to is the breakfast zone. So I've got my breakfast cereals here, and then I have an overflow of cereals up here with these hanging shelves, which I really like because it does take up that extra space that you have, you know, because these shelves are really tall in between. And so obviously what you can see here is only going to take up this much space. So there's a lot of empty space here. So that's kind of the breakfast station. That's obviously the vitamins and the supplements. And then I've got a bag of cough drops back there just in case. Next, we have the canned goods, which are exactly the same as before. There were no changes here because I use these frequently, and so I know exactly what I have on hand there. After that, I have the snack station here. So I've got my granola bars, and I've got some chips, and I do have some extra area there to put any other snacks that I have on hand. I also have some crackers, granola, and then as far as like overflow of any of these snacks, I've got it down there in this plastic bin so I can see exactly what I have in there. I have an overflow of oats, and I also have an overflow of crackers as well. Down below I have some cleaning supplies and then some recyclable bags, and then this is all my baking stuff right here. But it's just more functional. I can actually walk inside here instead of kind of like leaning over to grab things. We also have recycling here. And then if you come up this way, you'll notice that we installed a hook so that we can hang all of the extra brooms and mops and any other cleaning things that we can hang. All right, and then the next zone I want to talk about is my grains. So in here I've got grains and pasta and rice, beans. The next area I have here is seeds and almonds and all kinds of different nuts and things like that. So I do like to have almonds available just for snacking. If I'm going to make granola, then I like to add almonds to that. And then I also enjoy orzo pasta as well, so I made a separate container for that. And then any overflow of these grains are going to go in this hanging shelf here. And right below the hanging shelf, I have some vinegars, and I have condiments, and then kind of like extra stuff here. I also have vegetable broth and chicken broth, coconut oil. And so the next zone that I'm going to talk about is the baking zone. So here I've got flour, sugar, and then all the things I would need in this shelf too in order to do some baking. I am running low on brown sugar. I realize that I use that quite often. So that's just a note to myself that I should keep an extra bag on hand as well. And then on this top shelf here, we have our beverages here. And then this milk lasts a really long time, so I like buying this milk from Costco. And it actually will last a few months, so I'm really excited about that. It ran out of Costco recently, so I was excited to see it back again. We enjoy this Country Time lemonade just to have on hand so we can have extra drinks, not just water and milk. And then I do have a Sodastream, so I bought this kind of like flavor ginger ale for the Sodastream. I also have an overflow of kind of boxed items. And this section up here is really what I'm considering long-term pantry items. Those two up there don't expire for a while, so I can keep those on hand in case of emergency. And then all of this stuff too, except this mac and cheese, it's gonna last a little bit longer on the shelf. So I'd like to keep that kind of like a little bit further out of arm's reach because I'm not gonna use it as often. But all of this stuff here within my arm's reach, I definitely will be using often. So that's a tour of my pantry. All right, we finished putting up the coffee mug rack and this is what it looks like. So I'm pretty proud of it. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see. And then what I'm going to do now is reorganize this area to be a coffee and tea station. So there's lots of extra space now. All right, here is the finished product and here's a closer look into my shelf. So what I ended up doing was consolidating all of my teas into this container here. Obviously you can tell where I shop from. And then these are just pomegranate white tea, and then these are just some random teas that I have. I do enjoy this Lipton cold brew, and I have a picture of it in my refrigerator at all times, pretty much. So we use this along with the lemonade powder that you saw to make Arnold Palmers. And then next I do have pumpkin rooibos. This is from Trader Joe's. This is leftover from October, Halloween. So there's just a few tea bags left in there. And then I recently bought this hot cocoa powder, so I can enjoy that. And I do have ground cinnamon here because I do put ground cinnamon in my coffee every day. I have these to-go cups that are easily accessible. I put my coffee in here, and then any leftover coffee that I have in the bag stays in my freezer. I also have little dishes that I have for the mixing. So here's a little spoon. That's where I keep all of those little spoons, and then these are for like the tea bags and things like that. I've got some sugar here, coffee grinder, and then I do have some powdered creamer back there. Typically speaking, I don't use the coffee grinder and the powdered creamer and the French press all too often, so those are in the back. So my coffee maker actually does all of the grinding and everything. So, oh, speaking of my coffee maker, I do have these are like the filters for the coffee pot. So those are readily available there as well. I basically consolidated all the cups into this section here. They are easily accessible for me. And so these are the ones that I normally go to. Obviously, I've got to have a Boss one. And then I have some Band-Aids here actually in my shelf just in case. And some, these are items that I usually use for like to put water in to carry it with me. And then these are to-go mugs that I don't really need to access frequently. I hope you enjoyed that pantry reorganization tour today. I do have some other ideas that I could share with you guys as far as how I save money at home and how I budget and things like that. So let me know in the comments below what you would like to see specifically. If there's a particular question that you have that you would like for me to address in future YouTube videos, I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. All right, friends, that's it for today, and I will talk to you guys next time.